Hi everyone, Dimitri here, Pornography Addiction recovery coach and recovered addict. I'm doing my hair so it looks pretty. Going through the swimming pool and he's like all this weird curly hair. Anyway, a bit of narcissism here. Um, we're talking about fantasies this week, and we tend to consume pornography as a proxy to fulfill fantasies that we think are not okay. And so we believe it's okay when it's our little world in our private room on our laptops and our phones, but we never go out and talk to people about these fantasies. And for me, that was a big thing. Back in the days when I was an addict, when I was addicted to pornography and sex, it certainly was the case. And as I escalated into extreme pornography, when I was consuming more and more pornography, these fantasies that I was getting traumatized with in pornography then started to become really unrealizable. It was really hard for me to find people in my community who'd be understanding of these fantasies. So I collaterally learned pickup from a friend who was my housemate, and I became really good at picking up girls. And so I picked up girls. Someone gave me a little thumb up, and I thank you so much for all that. I have no idea. I think I'm the wrong version of Facebook. I can't see who it is. But if you want to leave a comment or something, please feel free to do so. And thank you for your support. I became really good at pickup, and I'm happy to share pickup stuff with you guys here if you're interested. But what I came to realize after several years of pickup is that all the girls I was meeting were mainstream. They're just like mainstream sexuality, pretty vanilla stuff, when I was into extreme stuff due to pornography. And I was like, oh, this is not going to work. And it was a bit of a problem for me. So at some point, I grabbed myself by the balls, and I realized that if I wanted to fulfill these fantasies, I needed to go to a place where people had some sexual opening and where extreme sex or different sex was normal or normalized. And so I started to join the Sydney fetish community and started to invest the BDSM community in Sydney, which led to lots of various episodes that are really both fun and tragic at the same time. But it was somewhat successful. But at some point, my heart got shredded into pieces by two beautiful girls, and I was just upset for a whole week. And I decided to heal myself. I couldn't leave myself with this addiction being so vulnerable. And anyone who had a hint of power on me could just crush my heart and kill me on the spot. And I couldn't allow that to happen. So that's when I decided to heal myself and work on this addiction. But it doesn't need to be like that. It doesn't need that people are going to crush your heart. If you're also, after that, I met my current fiancée, Caroline, and on the first night, because I wanted to avoid the vanilla syndrome, I said, hey, we're going to have sex. That's awesome. I'm a sex addict. I have weird desires and stuff. If we're having sex together, this is what's going to happen. Like, I need these to be fulfilled. And if you're not on board with that, it's absolutely fine. But for me, it's very important. Like, sexuality takes a huge part in life. And she said, sure. She said, fine. So it's a matter also of finding the right person and falling in love. But let love alone in that case, because love confuses everything. It's a matter for you to be open about your fantasies and go beyond the taboo that you're feeling about your fantasies. And when you accept these fantasies, and you accept that they were part of you and that they'll never go away, either they can go away if you reprocess the trauma that are associated to them, which is one way to do it. But if you're more of an experientiation person and you feel like you need to explore those fantasies, then you need to find the people to do that. So sex positive communities is definitely a place for that. For any fantasy you have, there is someone who will match it. And it seems crazy, but and I'm sure the fantasies you have are inspired from pornography. And so if there's more than 1,000 people who have liked this video or whatever the thing you're into, then you'll find other people who are into that. And I had a client who refrained himself and judged himself so much for the fantasies he had, and when we were together, he decided to go all out and meet the people who were like him and had the same taste. And now his life is just a completely different life. He's found sexual partners, and that's awesome. But more than that, he's found peace in himself, and he understands that he's okay. He's hypersexual, and that's awesome, and it doesn't matter, and it's okay. And he's found peace with himself. So how are you going to do that? How are you going to find people who are into the things that you're into, provided they are legal, consented, and possible? And definitely sex positive communities are a great arena for that. But it starts with acceptance. It starts with accepting yourself as you are with the fantasies that you have. And a lot of courage. The first time I went into these BDSM communities in Sydney in this first event, I didn't know anyone. I didn't know anything. I just bought a suit and rocked up. Man, that was scary. All right. So you just got to have courage, have trust. You can talk to people. You can have a munch, which is like a meeting where people discuss the sexual preferences and hook up before they do anything. You can attend a munch. You can attend sex events. Anything from mild to intense is really up to you, but I definitely recommend doing that or connecting to people who are in communities where sex is open and okay. Tantra can be a good avenue for that as well, but be careful that the spiritual side of things is sometimes in contradiction with the shadowy darkness aspect of things, so you might experience rejection, but not necessarily. People come from a place of acceptance as best they can. So that was me for today. I feel like asking you, what is the blockage? What is the blockage for you to fulfill your fantasies, and how are you going to find those people? Also, I need to talk about FetLife. FetLife is it's like the Facebook of fetish and BDSM. So it's a good social network to start talking about sexuality in a more open way. Definitely something I did and something you can do as well to feel more comfortable in your own space. All right, this is a bit of a taboo subject, so I'm hoping this has been helpful for you. And if you have any questions, you can put them in the comments, or if you want to ask me any questions in private as well, I'm happy to answer your questions if you have any. Take care, guys, and please be accepting of yourself and loving of yourself, any facet of yourself.